Hello, Facebook. I will give it a couple of minutes or a minute for people to log in, but hello and welcome to week 5 of Moridwen to Muggle, a little super basic Witchcraft 101. So I'm going to, from my phone, because I have two accounts, I have my witch account and my personal account, just going to see when I get to go live with the masses. Moridwen is now live. Fabulous. All right. So hello and welcome to week 5, which there was a skip week in between. Last week I didn't do a lesson, and that was for personal reasons. That was, I just needed a break from everything that day. My oldest daughter, who I have a strange relationship with, graduated from college. Yay. So I'm very proud of her, but it was emotional. Get to watch it on streaming because of the pandemic, and so that was a lot. The night before, I had done a Zoom meeting or a Zoom gathering, whatever you want to call it, with a bunch of people who are so dear to my heart, and I missed them like crazy. So I was very emotional that night, and then that carried into the next day, and then that, along with my daughter, it was too much. So I decided last week not to do a live, but I'm back, witches and non-witches. So this is going to be a little bit of a recap. I know I've done a lot of recaps, so I'm not going to do it like I normally do. And I am going to introduce some crystals today, and wands, and a quick lesson about karma, and what you throw into the universe will come back to you. So you want to throw nice things out there. So let's start with that. One thing that you can do is you can manifest things to happen. You can manifest miracles, as it were. You can manifest happiness, joy, money. You can manifest these things. I will tell you right now, what you have in your head for manifesting is not what it's actually going to be. Sounds weird, I know, but you manifest, you create in your head, I want whatever it may be. You put it out to the universe with your whole heart, your whole intentions, and then what you get back, first off, is not going to happen right away. It's not going to be like, I want $1 million. Bam, you get $1 million. That's not how it works. You throw out there that you want $1 million, and you will get it. Maybe not all at once. You might get 1,000 here. I'm a little bit off center. I was actually trying to display, so real quick, because we know that I do side stories all the time. This is my Mother's Day altar with goddesses. I do have the god there. Flowers. It's in pink and purple for myself, and I have 4 kids. Obviously, I'm a daughter. I'm a daughter-in-law. So my pink and purple altar for Mother's Day. When you do an altar, no, you don't have to be a witch to do an altar. I guarantee at your house you have altars now. If you have children and you have pictures of them up, displayed on the wall, on a mantle above the fireplace, you have set your altar, essentially. If you have candles around them, you've definitely set your altar. So an altar does not have to be a specific, like, must have this, must have this, must have this. It's a place that's sacred to you that has only the things for that specific, your children or your loved ones. You might have somebody who passed away and you have an urn. And then around the urn you might have a couple candles, you might have some flowers, something. But your urn is on your mantle or shelf or whatever. That's your altar. Super simple, but that's your altar. So what I'm trying to teach through these is that witchcraft is not necessarily black and white, because it's very much not. And it's not something that you have to do, but you're doing it without realizing it. Like I told you, the first spell that you've ever cast was blowing out candles for a birthday. You made a wish on your birthday candles. You cast a spell. Like You've been doing witchcraft. You've been doing witchy things without realizing it. Thank you, Jordan. I am able to see comments today, at least for now, so I will acknowledge them as they come. If I don't acknowledge them, please know that I just either didn't see it or I'm trying to, for real, focus. So, manifesting. I want blah, blah, blah. Like I said, the $1 million. Okay, great. You want $1 million. You do a spell, you put your intentions into it, and you ask the universe for $1 million. Awesome. Next week, you might hit $20 on a scratch ticket. Cool. That's part of your $1 million. The week after that, you might have somebody who's passed away, and you get an inheritance of $500,000. That's towards your $1 million. You didn't ask for it to become all at once. Or if you did, too bad, so sad. The universe does what it wants. You're going to get your $1 million, just not, here's $1 million, love the universe. You're going to get it incrementally. You can do a love spell and cast for a love spell and put all your heart and soul into an intention for a love spell, and it will work. It worked for me. I trust you. I promise you. I did a spell January 1st, and it took till almost November for me to meet my now husband. And he is exactly what I put into my spell. Everything I put into my spell. I got it. I manifested it. But it didn't happen overnight. I dated a lot. Like, I was on online dating for a while. Dated a lot of guys. Nice guys, but just not the guy. And then I met a guy who turned out to be the guy. And it was great. It's wonderful. And the manifestation came true and came, but I had to wait for it to come to fruition. So you can do this. You can manifest anything. Money, love, a new home, a new job. I mean, I manifested for a job that literally didn't exist. They hadn't they posted different jobs, but they didn't post the one that I now have. And I manifested for it, and 2 weeks later I get a phone call, hey, put your resume in, we might be getting a job, and it might be something you can do. Great. Put my resume in. It's literally the job that I manifested, is what I now have. To the point of, I manifested for a certain amount of money. They offered me X number of dollars. I said, well, how about Y number of dollars? Because when you get a job offer, and they say, okay, you're going to get $10 an hour, awesome. If that's what, if you're comfortable with $10 an hour, ask for 12. You might get it. You might not, but you don't know unless you ask. So I asked for Y dollars, and I got exactly what I wanted. And it was exactly what I manifested for. And it came quickly for me this time, which was awesome. Doesn't always come quickly. And also manifesting and karma and throwing things to the universe. Whatever you throw out there will come back to you. Let me repeat this. Whatever you throw out there will come back to you. You have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, who's done you wrong, and you want to get even with them. Don't. Send out, I want them to die. I want them to be in a car accident. I want them to whatever horrible thing, get the plague. No, you don't. If, I had a coworker who was years ago, who's a horrible, horrible human being. So I wanted to get rid of her. But I didn't want it to come back to me negatively. So what I sent out and I projected for was for her to find another job. Hey, Brandon. So I projected her to find another job and for her to find happiness elsewhere. So she did. Part of what I sent out... Oh, thank you, Brandon. You're so sweet. Part of what I put out for her was find another job, find happiness, so that because she was making all of our coworkers crazy. So what myself and my coworkers could have peace and harmony at work. She started looking for jobs that literally the next day because she was tired of the nonsense. Okay. She ended up getting herself fired, which brought peace to the workplace. She moved on, she got a job that she likes. That doesn't come back on me negatively. I wanted her to find another job. I wanted her, my workplace, to be calm and happy. And it did. Because I sent out, I want her to move on. So she did. She also got fired, which, not my fault. But when you project for someone, so you have an ex person, boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever, who still has a thing for you, and you're just tired of their nonsense, and not in an abusive way, but you're just, you know what, I'm done with you, dude. Like, we're done. Move on. So you don't project for him or her to be miserable the rest of their lives. You project for him or her to find someone perfect for them, because then they'll leave you alone. So you project, go find somebody perfect for you, and then wait, and then hopefully they will find someone perfect for them. So what you send out, don't send out negative, don't send out hurtful, don't send out, catastrophic. Send out, I hope you find somebody perfect for you. I hope you find a new job that's good for you. I hope you, whatever it may be, that is away from me, to stop making me crazy, but so that I'm not being a horrible human being. I am truly wishing you well, away from me. Go get a new job. Go get a new boyfriend, girlfriend. Go get a new home. Manifest them moving to another state. If they're from another state, that's even easier. Manifest for them to go home. Off to Kansas you go, or wherever. So that's manifesting and sending out positivity. And the power of 3. So the power of 3 is, if I send out negative, it's going to come back to me 3 times over. So if I send out, I hope you get into a car accident, and you do, the universe is going to come back to me, and it's not going to come back right away. It's going to come back years from now, and something horrible is going to happen, and maybe one of my kids gets into a car accident, and then my dog gets hit by a car, and then my cousin gets hit by a drunk driver. Well, it's because I sent out that I wanted my ex-boyfriend to get into a car accident, and he did. No, I want my ex-boyfriend to move on, to move away from me. I want my coworker who's making me crazy to find a good job for them. It's what you put out, you get back, and that's true, and you get it 3 times over. And I think I've shared in the past, I'm in my 40s now. I'm 43. When I was in my 20s, I was miserable. I got married, I got divorced, I had cancer twice, I was told I could never have any more children, and this after having 1 child already. I was miserable because I, F the universe, F this, F that, I hope everybody dies, and I hope this, and I hope that, and blah, blah, blah. Well, bad things happened because I was negative. I was putting out negative, I was getting back negative. My 30s, I turned my mentality around, and now in my 40s, I'm not Little Miss Sunshine, but I'm happier. And with age comes wisdom is very true. In my 20s, I was reactionary. Now in my 40s, when somebody says something negative or hurtful, I just look at them and I hope that their mood and their attitude changes. Whatever's causing you to be negative to me, I'm sorry. I hope you fix, or you get better, or you whatever, positive, whatever's making you be negative to me. Because I try not to be negative to people. If I'm negative to you, you've earned it. I'm just saying. Country bumpkin now, city girl for a while. I'm just saying. Anyway, so power of 3, manifesting. You can totally manifest anything. It's not going to happen right away. It's going to come to fruition eventually. Like I said, I manifested, and I'll get into it later at another time, but for my husband, literally wrote maybe I'll get into it now. Wrote a list. I want this, 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 and some of it was physical, you know, because I'm 5'5", so not terribly tall, but not terribly short. Um, I wanted a guy taller than me, like significantly taller, over 6 feet tall. I love beards. Beards on men to me is just so sexy. Love them. I wanted a guy with a kind heart. I wanted children, so I wanted more children. I wanted a guy who wanted to have children. I wanted a guy with a steady job, with a good income, I mean, like, from the superficial to the, um, not superficial, but like the physical to the characteristics to the, you know, personality persona. I wrote a list, literally wrote a list of the cookie cutter stuff that I wanted. Hi, Melissa. um, Sorry, reading comments, and Melissa who comments, she and I grew up together, so it's, you know, it's nice to see the circle of life coming back. And hi, Melissa, and I'm so happy for you for being here. Um, anyway, so I wrote the cookie cutter of physically what I wanted, emotionally what I wanted, and I wanted somebody who was not abusive and who was kind and just everything that I needed for me. I wanted in a man, and I wanted a tall, bearded man. If you ever saw my husband, and I do have a picture within arm's reach. Hold, please. I'm back. I got my bearded man. All right, this might be worse than I thought. All right, so probably out of the frame is better, but I got my tall bearded man who is such a sweetheart, raised by a strong woman and 3 older sisters, and it just gets me. At work, we had a Zoom meeting, and one of the guys says, "Oh, you know, is everybody gonna cook for their wives on Mother's Day?" And the guys are, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna cook." Kevin cooks for me every day. Like, he's amazing. He's gonna do something special for his mother and I on Mother's Day, but he he goes out of his way, but it's natural for him to go out of his way for me. I try to go out of my way for him, but again, it's natural. It's not like a chore, and going out of our way does not mean, you know, the romance and the flowers and the this and the that. It means we're both working from home now. When I go to the kitchen, because I work in the bedroom, he works in the kitchen. When I go into the kitchen for a snack or a drink or whatever, I'll rub his shoulders. Little things, just so he knows. He'll come in and he'll do the same thing for me. Mother's Day, like I said, he's going to cook me, I think it's shrimp scampi he's doing, excuse me, from scratch. It's so flippin' good. But he makes supper every night, which is wonderful. And that's part of what I wanted, was somebody who, for me, was perfect for me. He had 2 kids. He was raising by himself. There's the kids I wanted. We ended up having a baby together who's going to be 6 this summer. You know, I've gotten everything, literally everything I ever wanted. Part of when I did that manifestation was I also wanted a house, because I had been living a gypsy lifestyle, apartment to apartment, and, you know, just kind of like a gypsy, like not in a bad way, just I was living a gypsy lifestyle. So I wanted a house, a permanent home. I've always wanted a truck. Manifested for all of this. I now have my very own 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I drive a Ram 1500. She's red. Her name is Maeve. She's wonderful. She's getting traded in at the end of the year for another one, because leasing is wonderful. Um, so I manifested for myself, and I got literally everything I wanted. I got the kind-hearted, most wonderful person for me. I got a house. I got children. I got a truck. The only thing I don't have yet is a dog, because my husband doesn't want a dog. So that one I'm letting go. But someday I'm getting a dog. Anyway, so that is manifesting. Power of 3. Everything does come back to you, and things don't happen instantaneously, but they happen if you pour your heart and soul into it. Now, how do you pour your heart and soul into it when you're not a witch? Just pour your heart and soul into it. I've done rituals, obviously. I've done personal rituals. Part of my personal ritual was my manifesting my life. Well, don't you need a wand if you're a witch? Nope. All you need is a finger. Because when you are manifesting and when you are casting and putting to the universe, wands are helpful. Absolutely. I'll show you my 5 that I have in a second. If you don't have one, you just need your finger. I want this, and it's not like TV, So with the wands, I'll show you this. So my very first wand that I made, very rudimentary, but very powerful. My very first crystal that I ever purchased, I was 14, and this was on a necklace. It broke in half. So when it broke in half, at first I was like all sad, and what do I do? Put it on my wand. So willow, Moridwen willow, is part of, willow trees have always been a very big part of my life. So when I bought my house, we have willows in the backyard. One of my willows felled. Big, beautiful double willow, and before we had the tree guys come to remove her, I did capture a lot of branches, big branches, small branches, all kinds. So this is one of my willow branches that I got. She's wrapped in copper, because copper is a conductor. Science, yay! The hilt, or the end of it, is, so I'm very big at, like, the ocean is my calling. I love the ocean. Can't really see it too well, I don't think, but there's little seashell imprints. No, you can't. There's little seashell imprints in there. My birthstone is March, so that's just a marble. That's nothing fancy. It's just a marble, and blue is a color that means a lot to me. I have pentacles on either side, and then I have, I don't know if you can see too well, my initials and my date of birth. This is clay. I work with clay, and this I made glow in the dark because why not? So pink's my favorite color, so that's why this is pink. And then I have my top and my bottom. So when you cast to the universe, yes, using a wand is super helpful, because you kind of focus your energy, you focus your intentions, and it's easy to focus and set them to the universe, and, so mote it be, and it's to the universe. If you don't have a wand, you use your finger. Like, okay, I am really thinking, like, this is what I really, really want, and dear universe, let it be. So mote it be, is what we say. Let it be. To, dear universe, I'm sending this to you. You're number one, I'm sending it to you. So you don't need a wand, but wands are very helpful. A second wand that I made. So my first wand I do use in my own rituals. This is the second wand I've made, and I also use it in ritual. So this is an aura quartz. It's a light blue, I don't know if it translates. Again, willow wood wrapped in copper, and it's painted in purple, sparkly purple. I don't know if it translates too well. My aura quartz. Again, with my clay, pink being my favorite color. And this time I have, I wish this would, I don't know if you can see it, my birth date. And then in runes, the witch's alphabet runes. I don't know if that translates. A little bit. It's my name. And then moonstone is one of my favorite crystals. And this particular one broke. So again, with my breaking of crystals. This one broke, so I patched her up, and she's now part of my wand. Glows in the dark. And again, the pink, it's super basic. It's not a fancy wand, even a little bit, but to me, it means a lot. To me, it's very powerful. I have at the bottom this time, I have a pentacle. I do have pentacle impressions on either side. So those are my 2 working wands. This one I made, there is a wooden base. I forget what wooden base it is. I think it's just a stick that I found. And so I was just trying to make a clay wand. So this is all clay. And see, like right there, that glows in the dark. I like things that glow in the dark. So I have my pentacle with pearls around it, my blue marble with pearls around it. This is a pretend opalite, not real. The impression of pentacles in the clay. And I mean, could I use it? Yeah, of course. And I did wrap it in copper, and then put the clay over it. Yeah, it's something I just wanted to practice making a wand, so I made a wand. My fourth one I purchased, it's the only one I purchased that I did not make myself, and it's broken a little bit, is I love the sea, I love the ocean. I was at a festival, and they were selling all kinds of wands, these two gentleman witches made. And so I purchased this one because I thought it was really pretty. So that is my, and it's made from driftwood. So, and then this one is my final one. This is sea glass. Again, I am a sea witch. Butterflies and sparkly things. This was for my Halloween costume this past year. It is willow underneath. And this one's cool because, I don't know if it'll translate, it lights up. I'm a super secret sorceress. So, those are my wands. Again, you don't need a wand, you just need fingers. If you don't have fingers, I'm sorry. Use your nose, use your intentions, use your whatever you are projecting to the universe. Does not need a physical thing to project it, it just needs you to project to the universe. This is what my whole heart says and feels, and this is what I want. So, that is that. That's my wands. That is how and why I have them. I have my two working wands. Now, something that I've been asked a few times, because I have a ton of crystals. These shelves are full of crystals. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier racks here. Let me see. Let me move you and see if I can do this without it being terribly wonky. Crystals. Lots and lots of crystals. So yes, I have a boatload of crystals. I have over 300. So I get asked quite a bit, where do I start? I want to start collecting crystals. That's awesome. Where do I begin? There's a gazillion crystals out there. You will find some that speak to you. For me, moonstone and laboradite speak to me. They mean a lot to me. So you saw one of my moonstones in my wand. Laboradite is very pretty. And this, see like the striations here? They do reflect. So they do reflect light, and they do kind of like change color. She's so pretty. Oh, she's behaving. So they do change color in light, and I love them to pieces. Here's my other one. I thought I had 2 of these. So they come in all kinds of, ooh, she's pretty. See how she's changing colors? Oh, she's so pretty. So this is, as you go, so there's all kinds of, they mean all kinds of things. They help with the different things. We've gone over the chakras. There are stones for the chakras, and it's not like one stone per chakra. There's a bunch for the different chakras. So if you want to start out with your crystal collection, what do you get? You get, you know, this can be any configuration of a clear quartz. Okay? She can be a tumbled clear quartz. She can be rough. Clear quartz points. If you are able to get a clear quartz point, I highly suggest it. Or this one's called an ice clear quartz. Clear quartz, clear quartz. Highly recommended. Sorry that I'm bending over. I have my little table. Hey, Dawn. I missed your face. So I'm so glad you guys are commenting. Thank you so much for this. So clear quartz, number 1 crystal to get. Number 2 and 3 can go either 3 or 2 or 2 and 3. There's no clear quartz number 1. Get a clear quartz. Number 2, and only because these ones were closer to me. Pink quartz. I don't know if pink translates too well. Rose quartz is what it's called. Rose quartz. The pink, pretty pink stones. This one's a unicorn horn. Yes, it is. How do I get it? Trust me that these are pink. My computer does not want you to see pink. But these are 3 of my pink quartz. Now, why should you get a pink quartz? Because it's the stone of love, self-love, all the love. How's your love? It's a love stone. Clear quartz is for a universal charging and universal help. Some stones are very specific. Pink quartz, rose quartz is for love. So you want to start your crystal collection with love, self-love. We've gone over this. You need self-love. You need to love yourself. Before you love yourself, what do you have to do? You have to like yourself. Rose quartz will help you. So now the third, and again, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, it doesn't matter which order, are the pretty purples. You want to get amethyst. Again, with these not translating. I swear these are super pretty. It's just for some reason not translating properly. Amethyst can be sparkly. You may have seen these at different craft stores or home stores. I'm not naming names of stores, but I've seen them in big stores that some have letters for the Macs, and some are homey and they're really good. So not to name names of stores, but I've seen them there, and they're legit crystals. They really are. You can also go to stores, witch stores, or occult stores, or whatever stores that have crystals, which is what I love to go to, because you get a whole plethora of stones and crystals and just pretty sparkly things. You can get them from Amazon. I've gotten a lot of my stuff from Amazon. Not a lot of my crystals, but a lot of my witchy goods from Amazon. And I actually did get a chakra set from Amazon that was really, really cool. And they really were stones. And for the novice, when you're first learning, and maybe you can do this, I don't know, stones vibrate. So if you can feel, if you hold a stone in your hand and you feel it vibrating, fantastic, it's a real stone. If you don't feel it vibrating, does not necessarily mean it's not a real stone, but you might not be able to tune into it, or it's not the stone for you. I held a stone in a Salem witch shop one time. My girlfriend and I were out, and we were shopping. She's looking at different stones, and I picked up a black one. I forget for the life of me what it is at this point. It was a sphere, and I held it, and it was vibrating like crazy. Like it wanted to come home with me. It was beautiful. It was also $40, and at the time I just couldn't. So my girlfriend's like, "Oh, I'll buy it for you." I said, "No, I'm not going to have you buy it for me." So then I just didn't want to deal with paying her back. So, but you can feel vibrations in stones, and even if you get the stone initially, you might have to cleanse it in order to feel, the vibration. I always think of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, and to feel the vibration, dun 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 dun. Anyway, those are the stones you want to get: a quartz, rose quartz, amethyst. That's your beginner pack. Labradorite is one of my favorites. Moonstone is another favorite. Rainbow moonstone is really cool too. Another favorite, another one you do want to get sooner rather than later, once you start your collection, is selenite. Because cleansing crystals, part of cleansing crystals, you can use selenite, because some crystals you can't use salt on, some you can't use water on. I have over 300. I can't bring them out every full moon to cleanse them in the moon, which is a thing. So selenite is really cool. Not necessarily, I thought I had a third piece down here. So this is just clear selenite. Bom, bom, bom. She's pretty. I have a selenite wand. It is a wand. And it has fluorite at the end of it. Purple. Oh, that came out pretty. Okay. And then all crystals, or most crystals, can be turned into shapes. I have a unicorn horn selenite. Now, one of the really cool properties of selenite is, I don't know if you can see it through here, it's kind of like a piece of meat or a tree where you can see the striations in it. Can you see? No. Yeah, a little bit. See the striations? How they go like that? If you have, now I have this little lighted disc that my cousin gave me. She got it from one of those candle party things. So, colored lights. You take your colored light thing. You take your piece of selenite. Bom, bom, bom. You have a really cool looking nightlight. And again with the colors. Like, alright, now it's purple. You can't tell. But if you hold selenite on something that has colors, it'll turn into a nightlight. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can like show you the actual colors. Because it's not really translating. But so, selenite's really cool. If you put, I mean, the clear quartz, you know, yeah, kind of works. But selenite is my favorite for doing tricks and turning things into a nightlight. So, I wish you could see that. So cool the way that it lights up. Anyway, that's something fun to do with crystals. So those are the crystals you want to get. Clear quartz, rose quartz, amethyst, and then shortly thereafter, selenite. And again, it comes in so many different forms. Big, little, so the unicorn horn and the wand were both made into shapes. Sorry, I'm trying to see something. You only need a little piece of selenite, like, and selenite's like probably one of the cheapest. It also breaks really easily, so just be careful. Like, it can literally, like, not that I want to break it, but you can like almost like tear a piece off, like string cheese almost. It's very easily broken. But selenite, so selenite is good for charging your crystals, charging, giving them energy, restoring their energy. When you have a crystal in a store, so let's say I get this at, you know, ABC Witch Shop, okay? So I get this crystal at the store. Well, I have touched it. Hundreds of other hands have touched it. I mean, nowadays, maybe not, but so there's been different energies. If I'm having a good day, my good energy is on here. You're having a bad day, your bad energy is on here. Positive energies, negative energies, neutral energies, but so many energies because so many people have touched this. So when I get a crystal, the first thing I do, if I'm able to, you need to also know your crystals and know if you're able to do this. So the quick Google search of cleansing crystals for different crystals is a must. So I'll get this, I'll take it home, and a purification or a way to release the negative and positive energies. Because I don't necessarily want, you know, Mary Smith's positive energy on here because I'm not using this for Mary Smith. I'm using it for me. You know, yay Mary for having a great positive day when she touched this, but I want to neutralize all energies, positive and negative. And I want this crystal to come back to what it's supposed to be in a neutral state so that it can help me with what I need it to do. And each crystal, and again, Google or get a book on crystals. Each one has a power. Each one can be beneficial, or just have them to be pretty. I mean, crystals sparkle. Where's my sparkly, sparkly, sparkly? You know, I mean, like, you don't need them to be useful. They can just, if you just want pretty sparkly things, just get pretty sparkly things. So what I'll do is I will put in my hand. Now, sorry. You want running water, a brook, the ocean, water that is running, and salt. The best place to go cleanse crystals is the ocean, which I have done many times, brought it to the ocean. If you don't have an ocean near you, if you don't have a pond or a running, babbling brook, your tap water, once you turn it on, is now running water. So I will put the crystal in my hand, cover it with salt. If I have a couple, I will do a couple at a time. Cover them in salt, make sure they're completely covered. And then turn the water on and cleanse my crystals and say out loud to them, or in my head if there are too many people around or if somebody's working or whatever, I will ask for the energies to be neutralized, the positive and negative energies to be neutralized, and the crystal to come back to its state of being, which will be beneficial to me. There is not a verbatim thing you have to say. I'm pretty sure I say different things every time. What you want to do is neutralize the energies. I ask that all positive and negative energies be removed from this crystal so that it can be neutralized to be beneficial to me. Whatever you say, however you personally phrase it, say it 3 times. You have your salt. Now run it under the water. Okay? Run it under, move it around, make sure all the salt is off of it. Keep saying or thinking, the neutralization. Now your stone is cleansed. Now it's neutralized. Ta-da! Another magic trick. So you can neutralize very easily. Another cleansing or neutralization is the moon. Putting your stones out during the full moon is a great way to release the energies, positive and negative, and neutralize them and give them power using the power of the moon. It's wonderful. If your crystals allow, and some crystals do not, selenite's one of them, do not put them in water. But if your crystals allow, I will oftentimes get a bowl of water, put my crystals that allow into the bowl of water under the full moon. Now, here's the thing about the full moon. It's 3 days. There's the day right before, the actual day and time of, and the day after. Well, which day do I put them out on? All. Any. Pick one. Pick 3. Pick 2. There's the waxing, the actual, and the waning. How do you remember? I have people ask this all the time too. What's the difference between waxing and waning? Wax, shiny and new. Waning, it's going away. So that's like the super simple, I don't know if it's waxing or waning. Okay, well, are we coming towards the full moon? The waxy, shiny, new? Or are we going away from the full moon? Waning away by moon, because it's going back to becoming a new moon. So cleansing your crystals in salt is wonderful. Salt and running water. The moon is wonderful, and selenite is wonderful. If it is a gazillion degrees below zero and you have 8 feet of snow outside, but you're comfortable and you're safe in your home, but there's no way you're going outside, and because of the blizzard or the storm or the quarantine, you don't want to use too much salt because you know you're going to need it for cooking. Here's where your selenite comes into use. Charge on the selenite. And not every piece of selenite allows you to place something on it, but you do the same thing. You place it, I would put it on a table or a flat surface, and just say the same thing. I want to neutralize the energies, positive and negative, from this crystal. And the selenite will absorb the positive and negative, but the selenite will also release. It's not going to absorb and keep. Some crystals will absorb and keep the energies you put into them. Others, selenite, will absorb and release. So, that's crystals. What if you get a crystal? Now, a lot of crystals, like when you go to crystal shops, they're really good about putting like a little card or notation about like, okay, this is selenite, this is what it does, this is what it means, this is, like a little intro. Some shops, you can't take the cards, and I'm assuming now that with the world changing, they probably won't have those little cards anymore. Take your cell phone, take a picture of the description, so that way you don't forget, because you're gonna get, like, there's so many pretties and there's so many sparklies, and you're gonna want all of them, so you pick up 5. Take a picture of what they are, of the name of them, because you might forget. Oh crap, what is this blue one? Oh, what is this black one? All right, I know you're a clear quartz, I know you're a rose quartz, and I know you're moonstone, but what are the other 2? Take a picture. That way when you get home, you can go, okay, you're the blue one. Oh, okay, you're, Azurite. The black one, okay, you're Jet. Whatever they may be. So take a picture. And then get a book on crystals. Google it. Look it up. Wikipedia is not always wrong. It's just not always right. So definitely look things up and educate yourself. Educate yourself on your crystals. Learn what they do. Feel them vibrating. I've gone into the shops and I know for sure I want ABC crystal, whichever one they may be. So there's like a basket of pretties, and I'll pick one up and I'll kind of hold it in my hands, and I mean it was the prettiest of the pretties. Kind of put it to the side, and I'll pick up another one, and I will feel it. And it wasn't necessarily the prettiest of the pretties, but it is for me. I am feeling this vibration. I am feeling it go through me. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, the next time you're with crystals or near crystals, allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to absorb. Maybe you're going to feel nothing. Maybe you're going to pick it up and go, okay, pretty. I got nothing. Ooh, another pretty. I got nothing. Ooh, another pretty. Ooh. Hey, this one is actually vibrating in my hands. I can feel it. Now I get what she's saying. She's not a crazy person altogether. But you'll feel it vibrating. You'll feel everything in life has a vibration. It's a matter of allowing yourself to feel it. So you can feel vibrations, you can feel the crystals. And for me, the stronger the vibration and the stronger the positive vibration, the more that it is for me. That black sphere, I probably should have just bit the bullet and purchased because it was vibrating so strongly for me. If it's meant to be, it'll still be there when I go back to Salem to this particular shop someday. Now, explaining things is great. Reading things is wonderful. So I have 2 books that I highly recommend, and us all being in quarantine right now, we have plenty of time to read. I've actually done a lot of reading recently. Books, poems, even getting ready for these little videos, I've done a lot of reading. And one of the things that I'm going to get to eventually is Hollywood and witchcraft. And what is real, what is not, what is complete bull poop, and what is, yes, 100% real. The Wicked Witch of the West, Wizard of Oz, where she zaps her fingers and, this and that. The green-faced witch. A lot of witches are so against the green-faced witch. Time out. Yes, a horrible, ugly hag of a witch is not a witch. I mean, I would hope that you don't see me as a horrible, ugly hag. I'm a witch. No, my face isn't green. There's a reason for that, and I'll get to the reason why witches were green in a minute. What have we gone over? Who is a witch? Guys or girls? Both. What do you call a female witch? A witch. What do you call a male witch? A witch. The end. Witches just are. Can ugly people be witches? Yes. Can pretty people be witches? Yes. The green witch. Back in the day, we didn't have internet. We didn't have electricity. People went outside to the great outdoors. It was wonderful. And they had farms, and they had, even if you weren't a farmer per se, you still probably had crops of some sort that you were growing and tending to the fields and tending. So you're out there all day and you're picking weeds and you're tending to your crops, and it's hot and it's sunny, and you're kind of wiping the sweat off your face, but your hands are green. Like, you get grass stains when you roll around on the grass. Well, your hands get grass stains too. So oh gosh, bathing wasn't necessarily what it is today. You might take a bath once a week, once every other week. Things were weird back then, y'all. But so over the course of time, working in your field and just wiping the sweat off your face with your green hands from the grass, you had a green face. Everybody had green faces. It wasn't just witches. So the green face doesn't necessarily bother me the way that it bothers other people. The ugly hag witch bothers me more, the same way that it bothers other people. So green face witches to me aren't a bad thing, because everybody back in the day had the green face. The conical hats, we've gone over that. The cone of power with your conical hat. Nope. Conical hats were worn by everybody. And people like me, very pale skinned, who would have been pale and green back in the day, the brim on the hat would have kept me from getting a sunburned face, a terribly sunburned face. You know, so the truth versus the made up Hollywood nonsense is something I've been looking into, and it's actually quite fascinating. The one thing that I will say, because I have friends who said, oh, nothing in Hollywood's real. Nothing in, Hollywood witchcraft is real. Nope. Practical magic. Nicole Kidman and Rizzo. Oh, gosh. What is it? No. Sandra Bullock. Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock. But then Rizzo's the aunt. Midnight margaritas. That's so real. For anybody, witch or not witch. You can have a margarita at midnight, and it's fantastic because you'll probably be singing and dancing around your kitchen. Real. So, I am going to be looking into and delving deeper into Hollywood versus real. Now, I don't know if the comments have stopped or if I'm just not seeing them, so if I've missed your comment, I apologize. There are 2 books that I highly recommend, just because we're home and we have the time now. And they're both by Laurie Cabot, who I am a Cabot witch. That's not why I'm recommending them. I'm recommending them because they are very good books. I read them prior to becoming a Cabot witch, like years prior. And they made sense. And they were really, to me, great books. And it was just, they were just good reads. They're just genuinely good reads. So the first one is The Witch in Every Woman by Laurie Cabot. And guys, do not be afraid of the word woman. It can be the witch in every... Whoa, man. So, you guys can have it too. And then the second one by Laurie is Power of the Witch. Do you need to be a witch to have power? No, we've already proven this. Because you have made birthday wishes. So those 2 books I very much recommend. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on Kindle, Nook, whatever. I don't even know what's out there anymore. Whatever e-reading thing you have. Very much recommend them. Like I said, I am a Cabot witch. That's not why I'm recommending them, but that's not why I'm recommending them. It's just so Laurie is a fascinating woman who I have met and I've gotten to know a little bit, and I've had a couple of really, really great conversations with her over the years. She's wonderful, but she's a visionary. She can see, she's psychic. She can see things clearly because there's a tradition named after her. She's done a lot for witches, for people, for everything and everybody. One of the stories in one of her books is about manifesting, and she wanted to manifest, it was money. I forget the exact way that the story went, but it ended up being that she was offered a trip to London, to England, to do some work, and she got free room and board, and they were paying her, and it was the right amount of money that she needed at the time. So you manifest things, and they don't come to you the way you necessarily think they will, or like, I want $1 million. I want to win it from the lottery. Okay? So you go and you play Mega Money Bonus Bunny, whatever the big lottery things are. And you win $20. And then the next week you win $100. And then the week after you win $1,000. You're getting your million incrementally. So you're winning money from the lottery like you wanted. You're going to win $1 million from the lottery like you wanted over the course of years, which you didn't expect. And $20 here, $100 there. Wait a couple of years, $1,000 here, $20 there. You're going to get what you want, just not how you expect it. So just know that when you throw things to the universe, they'll come to you not the way you expected. I never expected to get the house that I got, but it's the exact house I wanted. The truck that I have is what I want. My husband is what I want. My children are what I want. I have everything I want, just not at all how I expected to get it. So project, manifest, don't expect it to happen overnight. Don't expect it to happen the way you're in your head playing it, but it will happen. So that is, I think I've gone on quite enough today. And I thank you for your comments, and I thank you for everything. And again, if I missed a comment, I'll go back. I am putting these on YouTube. It's Moridwen Willow on YouTube. So like, subscribe. If you missed anything, you can always watch it on here. You can always go back and watch it on the YouTube. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. This is super basic Witchcraft 101. Not intending to convert anybody, not intending to make you a witch, just maybe making you realize that, oh, I do have things that I can do that I didn't realize I could do. Oh, and crap, I totally forgot. Like, I had the Lori story going. So, talked to Lori, great psychic and, man, fantastic woman. Just a fascinating, wonderful, soft-spoken, amazing woman. For years I've been taking pictures. I'm now actually the official photographer of the Salem witches when they had rituals. So which was really cool. But because of that, and Lori had seen some of my photos, she said to me something that I had been holding deep down and suppressing, that I'm a good photographer and that I have an eye for it, unlike other people, and that I should pursue it. And this is something I had deeply desired and wanted so badly, and never thought I would be good enough. Never thought, because like everybody, well, I'm not good enough. Well, I'm just me. Like, who the hell wants, I'm 43 years old. Like, when she said this to me almost a year ago, she was saying what I had been suppressing. And I didn't even bring it up. It was just, she just said it, and it was spot on. Unreal. I now have a photography company. So I have my company, which I make wreaths and floral crowns and, things of that nature, which, I have like a tax ID number, the whole 9 yards. It is a real legal company. Irish Moose Magic is my wreath company. So when I wanted to switch over to photography, I looked into it legally and, can I use the same tax ID? Yes, but I need to get a new doing business as, which I got from my town. And so I used the Irish Moose Magic, but I figured Irish Moose Magic photography was a little too much to say. So it kind of worked out. I Am Magic Photography is my new company. So again, look that up on Facebook if you want, like and love and say nice things. I Am, the letter I, the letter M, Magic Photography is my photography company. I have my wreath company, which is Irish Moose Magic. I'm 100% Irish. Moose is my favorite animal, and I'm magical. So that's where that name came from. But when she ever said what was in my soul, and it just kind of came out, I was like, okay, well, clearly I am meant to do this. So when you have things deep in your soul, let them out, because somebody's going to see it and somebody's going to say, yes, you really should be doing this. And for me, it was Lori, and it was fascinating. And I adore her to pieces. Again, don't become a cabinet witch because I adore Lori to pieces. I was solitary witch for 20 something years. And then now I'm a cabinet. So do the solitary thing. Do your research, read books, figure out what way might work best for you. Being solitary, being eclectic, being Gardnerian, being Cabot, being whatever. Or just being Jewish or Catholic or Buddhist, but wanting to learn about witchcraft. That's cool too. So whatever questions you have, let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.